Hi everybody, Chelsea here again from Adventures in Coloring. Welcome to my next video. We are going to be coloring a picture together in my new Rita Berman book. Not even going to try to say the name. I don't speak German. I don't have a good accent, but it is the spring book from her Seasons collection. I just got this one over the weekend. I haven't had a chance to color a page yet, so we are going to color together. As soon as I get a new book, I love to jump right in and just start with one of the pages. So this is the book that we'll be coloring in. Open up here. I've already chosen a page. So we are going to be doing this page with the umbrellas, the flowers blooming, the little kitty cat here. Just a nice, fun, manageable page. Kind of pick this one out of all the different choices, although there's a lot of pages in this book I'd like to complete, but we will do this one together on camera. Typically when I start a page, I'm just kind of inspired. I can see what colors I want to put where, but I thought it'd be a little bit fun for this video to use some color palettes and choose a color palette that we can try to stick to in the page here. So let me pull up my iPad. Hopefully this looks okay on the camera. But I'm using a free website. Let's see. It is colorpalettes.net. So free. They have a lot of different palettes just to swipe through, see if anything kind of draws your eye. This was the first one that I looked at. I really liked the nice muted spring colors. I'm just not sure that it's quite what I wanted to do for this page. So I did swipe through and look at a few different ones. I liked the colors in here as well, the teals, the purple, the pink. But the palette that I actually settled on was this one here, color palette 3986. I just thought that it might be nice for a spring page to do some pastel-y type colors. So if you can see in the background here, I have my Prismacolors laid out. We will be using Prismacolor pencils. I have the 72 set, so those are the colors that we have to work with to try to recreate the palette. So I'm going to leave this right here. I already did the work of swatching out the colors to see if I could get some good matches for us. So the teal 1006 seemed to be pretty close. The lighter color teal 992. I couldn't quite get the right beige that they have in the picture, but I just picked two. I think it's like warm gray and a beige putty gray, so I figured that we can just kind of work with that. It's pretty close to the color they're going for. There's kind of, let me tip this up so we can see it a little bit better. There we go. Light's a little bit better. A nice light pink, 928. And then the orange that they have, I didn't have quite a match for that orange either. So I picked two, kind of a more yellowy orange and then more of like a golden yellow orange. So again, deviating a little bit just because I didn't have the exact colors, but trying to stay in that same palette that I picked. Also adding in a purple I think would be nice just for an additional color. I got this pencil open stock. It's not in the original set of 72, so I just want to use my new purple. So that's the palette that we're going to try to stick to on this picture. I don't have a problem necessarily with bringing in other similar colors to help with shading and contrast. So these will be our primary colors we stick to, and then I'm just going to kind of modify as needed if we need slightly different shades of the same colors. So move this out of the way. I'm going to leave the palette right here. Also just to kind of block this other side so that the camera doesn't try to focus on that too much. Bring it in a little bit more so I can tuck it in like that. Alright, that should work okay. And I always like to put a page behind the one I'm working on. I mean, we're using pencils, but just if you're pressing hard, you don't want any transfer to the paper. Alright, so I'm going to pull out all my colors that I swatched. Alright. So this is the colors we'll primarily be using. Again, I wrote down all the different numbers on that page. Just leave these over here so you can easily access them. So this is my first coloring on camera page. I would eventually like to do some live streams, but I'm hoping to get a few more subscribers just to ensure that we have enough people attending. So I'm just going to kind of show you my coloring process, kind of the shading that I do with my Prismacolors. This is my first, coloring video, so I'll kind of just chat as I go along. But I'd love to hear any of your feedback in the comments. If you guys have any questions for me or any requests, if you want a flip through of this book or anything like that, go ahead and let me know. But we're just going to kind of jump right in. I think I'll probably start up here with some of the umbrellas because they're kind of a focal point, and then we'll just see how far we can get in this page. I'm not sure if we can finish it all in one video. I'm not necessarily the fastest colorist out there, so we'll just kind of see how it goes. Let's see. So we have a couple of the umbrellas that are a little bit more plain and a couple that are a little bit more patterned. I wouldn't mind just kind of starting with this one here. I'm kind of drawn to the pink color to start with, the 928 blush pink. Do you want a little bit of contrast, so we can just go with the 929 pink, a little bit darker. And we'll just kind of jump right in. Yeah, that's in the camera. Guys, I'm still getting used to all my new technology, trying to get my lighting right, everything on the camera right, make sure you all can hear me, things aren't too out of focus. There's a lot more that goes into making these videos than someone who's just watching might necessarily realize. And too, just kind of the pressure of being on camera, I guess. Kind of a quiet person in general. I can be an extrovert if I know you well and, we're friends, if we hung out, things like that. But just first time I've met you, probably not going to be the most talkative person out there. Yeah, it's kind of fun, though, to enter this YouTube realm. I've watched so many people's videos. I always thought, oh, yeah, that looks fun. I could do that if only I had more time. And now I do have a little bit more time. I just finished school, finished some internships, I'm looking for jobs. So I've got a bit of free time, which is definitely nice. So just kind of going a little bit darker down here to a little bit lighter pink. Just adds a little bit more interest than just solid coloring. So I'm using Prismacolors. This is the primary pencils that I use. I don't have any polychromos, even though that seems to be very popular with people. This was kind of my first nice set of pencils that I have. I'm a pretty frugal person. If what I have works, I don't necessarily go out and look for anything else. I'd like to try the polychromos. I'm actually really interested in the Black Widow pencils, so if anyone has any suggestions as far as the Black Widows, I am interested to try those. I do like these softer types of pencils. You can do some layering, but I don't have to work like super hard on each section to get, color down. I do have some markers. I hadn't really gone into markers until recently, the last, year or so. I do really like my Tombos. Those are probably one of my favorites. What else do I have? I have some Stettler markers that I got really on sale. I don't think they're water-based, but they're not alcohol either. They're some sort of ink-based, but those are kind of streaky, so they're not really my favorite. I do like the Tombos. I do like being able to blend the colors easily with those. I do like the water-based so that I don't have to worry about bleed through as much. I don't really have any nice alcohol markers yet. I've kind of been looking into them, but again, I try not to splurge too much on all the art supplies. The coloring books aren't too expensive, but some of those different supplies can get really expensive. I do have some gel pens, some Sakura jelly rolls that I enjoy using, mostly for details, although I have done a few pages when you just feel like coloring with gel pens. What else? Oh, I have some Staedtler fine liners, marker-wise, which I enjoy using. Yeah, I mean, mostly colored pencils, mostly the Prismacolors. I have started getting into watercolor a little bit recently too, but again, just trying to not bleed those watercolors through my books. I don't want to ruin my books. I want to be able to do any and all the pages in the books. So, you know, buying some single-sided books has been good, buying specifically a watercolor book, but I have found some books that do take the watercolor a little bit better. So I've been able to do some watercolor bases, some watercolor backgrounds. Oh, stuff is falling behind me. But yeah, so just kind of getting into some different mediums, branching out a little bit, trying to be brave and try some different techniques. Yeah, so anyone that's watching, what are your favorite art supplies to use? What are your go-tos? And what things are you trying out that are new to you? Another thing that you may learn about me is that I don't necessarily always do a background. I've been trying to be brave and try some more backgrounds, but I don't know, just for me it seems like once I'm done with a page, I'm scared to ruin it with the background. And I don't always have great ideas for what to do in the background. So I'm just trying to be a little bit braver in that regard. Yeah, this page might get a little bit crazy color-wise, but I figure, hey, why not? It's spring, it's almost summer, nice sunshiny days out. Let's have some bright, colorful pages here. What books is everyone else coloring in? Go ahead and comment. Let me know. I'm always on the lookout for more books. Not that I need them, but you know, I'm pretty good about keeping up with, you know, the artists I like and when their new books come out, but it's always fun to hear about some more obscure books that I may not have. Of course, my husband probably doesn't want you guys telling me about more books, but I mean, I'm pretty good. I don't buy things that I don't use. Like I said, I just got this book and, you know, I'm ready to color in it. I want to be using the things that I have. I'm just using a little bit of white here to just soften up some of these lighter parts, get a little bit of blend. We'll have to think about what I want to do with that cat. As people know, fur can be kind of a hard thing to color, but we'll see what we come up with. Save that till the end. By then you've done so much of the page that people might not even notice what the cat looks like. So today is Thursday. It's May 30th. Can't believe it's almost June. I'm streaming from Washington State in the Pacific Northwest here in the United States. It's a bit sunny now. It was very cloudy and foggy this morning, about 55 degrees, so it doesn't quite feel like summer as of yet. I was able to take my dog on a nice walk. I'll have to show you guys what my dog looks like at some point. His name is Bear. He is a little cutie. He's sitting behind me on the bed right now as I'm coloring. He is an Australian Shepherd, so a herding dog. He doesn't want to be too far from his people at any point in time. So if I am somewhere in the house, he is probably somewhere close by. I'm just blending this out with the white again. I would be interested too if anyone else has done this page. That's one thing I like about coloring is, you know, you have the same page, multiple people color it, multiple people have different thoughts about how they want to color it, and none of them ever turn out exactly the same. It's one of the things I like about going on Instagram and just looking at other people's art and getting inspiration for, you know, what colors they did, or, you know, something that's just really cool. Yeah, because what I might see in my mind's eye is totally different from someone else that looks at the same picture. Alright, got the backgrounds on those. I think we'll go back in with the pink to do the polka dots. I just have my Prismacolor sharpener here. I don't have a fancy electric one, but since this kind of came with the pencil brand, I figure it works pretty well. I have had some pencils that have broken really easily, and you know, they're really short because I wasn't able to keep them sharp with them breaking. But since I've gotten this new sharpener, it seems to be working pretty well. Haven't had very much breakage. It's always frustrating though, because we get our nice pencils, our expensive pencils, and you don't want them just cracking and breaking and you're not able to get a nice long life out of them. Yeah, just going in on these polka dots with the pink. This might be a good area to add in some gel pen or some sort of details later on. Yeah, I think I'll just keep a couple colors in each umbrella. I don't want to go too crazy over the top. I don't know, these colors together kind of remind me of watermelon, which is one of my favorite fruits, so I'm okay with that. But yep, just trying to keep our original color palette in mind. I know there's some fancier color palette, you know, books and apps out there, but you can find those free ones, like I said, on just if you Google color palettes, or that program I was using had options to post the palettes onto Facebook, or I think Twitter or Pinterest, or just different places, so you know, they can be very available without having to spend too much money. Alright. I think we'll wait and go back in on some of the details because I'm not exactly sure how I want the handles to be. So I'll move on to this next umbrella here. So we kind of already used the teals and the pinks. So we still have these oranges, these beiges, this purple. Maybe we'll just dive in with the yellow and orange. I don't always go for yellow and orange, but I'm trying to stick to new ideas here. So I pulled out the two colors. I have Spanish orange and yellow ochre, which I swatched out on our other page here, because I couldn't quite get that color. That was kind of more of a warmer orange. I wonder even, let's see, I don't know, and then you pull out like the yellow orange. So these are the two that I have, and then you pull out like this yellow orange color, but it's just so orange. I kind of like the yellow tones better. And then two, we have sunburst yellow. I don't know, that's just really yellow. And then the other oranges, you know, are just so dark. I don't know. I think we'll just stick with more of a yellow. I think that'll look better. Maybe two. Orange is my least favorite color, so maybe I'm just biased against it. Sorry to anyone that likes orange. I just never really liked it. So let's sharpen a little bit. Yeah, I really like blues and greens. It seems like I kind of make everything blue and green unless someone tries to tell me otherwise. Same with clothes. I try to be a little bit braver with clothing. Actually, let's start with this one, so I don't just buy blue everything. Yeah, this one's our darker. Okay, so we're going to use the darker, the yellow ochre, and I'm going to go over some of the lines. And they give you these details, you might as well use them. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm coloring an umbrella page. I live in the Pacific Northwest where we get a lot of rain every year, but the kind of running joke is that locals don't use umbrellas. They say you can spot a tourist by, seeing who's using an umbrella. We just have our rain jackets, our rain boots. You just go outside, you don't let the rain bother you, you don't let it stop your activities. You still go for your walks, you go hiking. You might get a little bit muddy, but you don't let that rain stop what you're doing. But yeah, I think I have an umbrella somewhere in a closet. I think my mom bought it for me when I moved up here, but I haven't really used it. Of course, when relatives come to visit, they want to use the umbrella, but I just kind of laugh at them and, oh, well, if you guys want to. Yeah, my wedding, in fact, was in June, and planned an outdoor ceremony in the trees. It was very pretty. Starts sprinkling. People come running up to me. Oh my gosh, it's raining, it's raining. Do you want to move the ceremony inside? And I'm like, what do you mean? It's sprinkling outside. Did we move it inside? Nope. I just made everyone sit out in the sprinkles. Honestly, you couldn't even tell it was raining. I still took my pictures outside. My reception was indoors, but I figure your ceremony is what, like 15, 20 minutes? People can tough it out and sit in the rain. So it wasn't so bad. But yeah, it was middle of June and it was still cloudy, rainy. It's not really summer here until after 4th of July, they say. So, in other parts of the world too, I don't know if you guys are in full-blown summer yet right now in May, but we're definitely still in cool spring. I saw them filling up the neighborhood pool with water yesterday. So I guess they're going to open that soon, but not sure if people are really going to come yet. Kids are still in school, and like I said, it's not super warm yet. Maybe high of 70 at the most, but that's probably at the end, 5 o'clock in the evening when the sun's been out all day. All right, so there's that nice yellowish orange color. Actually, doesn't look too bad. It's kind of like a mustard yellow almost. I do kind of like that. All right. Let's move on to our next umbrella. So we've used some of our colors. I haven't tapped into the purple or the beiges yet, but I don't think I want to use the beige in the actual umbrellas. I'm always thinking too, like, do you want colors next to each other that are similar? So maybe we could do like the purple and the teal. That would look okay. Or could do purple and pink, but that seems what I would normally do. And also this one has the flowers coming out of it, so you have to think a little bit about that. So obviously I want the leaves kind of one of the teal colors, so I'm not going to want this bottom part teal if the leaves are teal. Too, I could pull out, a slightly different color. I wonder too how it would look to bring in like a light green into our palette, because I would still keep in with some of the pastels, but then if I used the light green on some of the leaves, then it wouldn't matter if I made this one some teal in the umbrella. Let's see how this looks. 1089. And this is another color that I got open stock, 1089 Pale Sage. It didn't come in the original 72 that I have. I think that green could definitely fit into our palette. I don't know, it's hard for me to do these limited palettes. I just have so many colors I'd like to bring in. But yeah, I think that might look good with some of the leaves. I could even do the teal with the light green in the leaves, just to have a little bit different color. So, yeah, I do want to use purple, I think, in this umbrella. Purple. I'm so indecisive, guys. I do apologize. Maybe if I figure out what color I want to do these other umbrellas. So this is another patterned umbrella. I think this would look good if we did the yellow and the pink together. Actually, I wouldn't mind just doing this one purple. So then, I don't know what to do about that one. Unless I did like kind of multicolored. Maybe let's go over to this one because I know what colors I want to do. So I want to do the lighter yellow in the background. Oh, that's this one. More of the orange, sorry. The Spanish orange. I think I'll do these kind of the open space in this color. Is anyone else indecisive when choosing colors or just me? I mean, typically after I kind of start going with whatever I'm going with, I'm like, oh yeah, you know, that looks good. But it's just some of the initial decision making that can be hard. I'm probably like that in everyday life too, as far as making decisions goes. Alright, so we outlined in kind of the brighter, do a little bit of this. So as I think I said in some of my earlier videos about my collection, I've been coloring for since 2015, but kind of towards the end of the year, so maybe 3 years, a little bit more. I used to color solely in just my Johanna Basford books. I just really liked her art style. I didn't know there were so many other books out there, and I didn't want any of the cheap, just, kids books or anything, so I kind of stuck with her books. Then I realized, hey, there's this whole other world out there with so many other artists and so many books, and then it gets kind of overwhelming because you want every single book. There's so many good books out there, so many good artists, but you don't even have time to color in all of them. So my big thing is if I get a book, I'm going to color in it, and I like to color at least, so many pages in each book before I even look to get new books. So I just got this one. It was kind of a gift to myself for finishing up my internship that I just completed, but I don't think I really had bought a book since maybe like my birthday back in February. So I kind of went through a phase where I got quite a few new books. I kind of discovered all these other books to be getting, and then I didn't get any for a while, so it was fun to get this one. And too, I just like to think about it. I might see a book initially and oh my gosh, wow, that's so cool, but then I just have to think about it a little bit, like, am I actually going to color in that book? I like Rita Berman's books just because I like the cute little whimsical theme that she's got going on. I like that they're a little bit smaller size-wise. I don't like a page that takes me days and days and days. Maybe a couple days, but I don't want to get to the point where I'm just bored. Paper's pretty good. She's very personable, and she'll write you messages on Instagram and tell you that she likes the pictures that you've colored and things like that. So I do enjoy that she is very available. Clean off my white here. And I know there are other artists like that too that are very, you know, in touch with their fan base and the colorists. Johanna Basford's went on her, what was she calling it, hiatus or sabbatical. So she's probably coming back soon. That'll be kind of nice. I like some of her contests and giveaways that she does. I'm kind of liking this mustardy yellow. I don't usually use yellow a whole lot. I'm kind of liking this. Okay, I think we'll go back in. So nice light orange. That looks pretty nice. A nice little geometric pattern here. Oh, I think that looks okay. Alright. So again, decisions. I think I do want to do some of the green and teal in here. I don't want the purple to be too big of a player. Kind of thinking too, what if I brought in this green? What if we did kind of like a green and teal on this umbrella? And maybe like purple and pink. Yeah, maybe let's do this one kind of teal. Let's actually bring in, maybe we'll use kind of all three shades. So we have parrot green, light aqua, and then I just brought in pale sage. So we'll start with the darkest parrot green. I like to just do the lines darker. And too, we got to think about that watercolor because I don't really have a blue, so I'll be using some teals in the water at the bottom. Unless I bring in a very light blue color, maybe a pastel again. I know some people are going to say I'm cheating by bringing in other colors, but it's my channel. I'm making the rules. Coloring is supposed to be about having fun. You know, rules can give you a little bit just more of a challenge, but there are no rules to coloring. You don't have to stay in the lines. You don't have to color anything a certain color, a certain way. You don't have to use certain materials. You can use whatever you want. Just about being creative, having fun, relaxing, getting your mind off of the stresses of your life. Just focusing on the colors you're putting down. Connecting with other people who have the same interests. There are a lot of benefits to coloring. And I think we all know that. But sometimes it's hard to convince other people. They just think you're, you know, it's just a hobby. But I think we all realize it's more than just a hobby. We all get so much out of it. And that's why, you know, years later, after starting coloring, we still stick with it. You know, I talk about like the coloring craze, the coloring boom, you know. People might think it's not so popular anymore, but I don't know. It's very popular, I think. Maybe more than ever, just with the dedicated people that have kind of stuck with it. Let's really sharpen this. I think I'll use this green just to tone the color down a little bit and just smooth out some of the color. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I like about some of these lighter colors, that yes, you can use them on your own, but you can also use them over top of darker colors just to tone down and to blend with. You don't always have to use the white to blend. I don't even use the white too often to blend, but I kind of am drawn to it recently. I think I go in waves. Depends on the paper too, like how hard you have to work to get some of the tooth down. So I think I will use a little bit at the bottom here. I'm liking this lighter at the bottom. You know, I'm no artist. This is no professional explanation or anything like that. It's just coloring for fun, trying things out, seeing how other people do techniques. I mean, I find it really relaxing to watch coloring videos. My husband thinks I'm kind of weird. He'll come up and, oh, you really enjoy just sitting here and watching someone color in a page? You know, you could be coloring in your own page. But I mean, I do get a lot of just relaxation out of watching other people. I get ideas, I get inspiration. Sometimes you just don't want to watch, you know, some kind of boring, mindless TV show, and you can watch someone being creative. I'm going to make this darker, just kind of looks like it's, you know, folded up at the bottom. And I like Rita Berman's books too, just for the variety of subject matter. I get kind of tired of coloring in just flowers or plants, and I'm honestly not the biggest fan of coloring in people. People do some really cool things with skin tones and hair, and tried it a little bit, but I'm not really drawn to the portraits. So yeah, I mean, I don't think I've actually colored in umbrellas before, so this is fun for me. I want to smooth all of this out a little bit. A little bit more green. Well, I hope you guys are enjoying my video so far. Hope you watch some of my other videos. I mean, it's a little bit hard to build up your YouTube channel at first, as I've kind of seen. But obviously, if, you know, other people, you know, ask, you can always kind of point them in my direction. I'd love to get to know more people and, you know, kind of grow in this community here. So how's that looking? We got the teal one done. Right. I think I'm going to stick with pink and purple. That's what I've decided for this middle one here. So, we haven't used the purple yet. The lavender. And then I use some of the darker and the lighter pink that we have. Like I've already said, it's pink and blush pink. I don't know, I wouldn't mind doing this bottom part here in the purple. I'm still on the camera, yeah. Sharpen this real quick. Alright. Darkening in the lines. Yeah, I'd really like to get the whole set of Prismacolors, the big set. But again, I feel like the ones I have, you know, are sufficient. So that's why I've kind of branched out and I bought a couple of colors open stock that I didn't already have. Because I feel like the 72 is missing some of the lighter colors. So I got this lavender, I got the pale sage, and I got this blue slate. I just feel like it's missing some of the paler or pastel-y colors. Like I still didn't have like a very pale pink or even the kind of pumpkin-y orange. There's just some colors that I don't have. But they probably do exist with Prismacolor, I would think. But again, I guess that's why people kind of will mix their different pencil brands too, so you can get the colors that you want. I don't really have too many other pencil choices. I have my Stellar Ergo Softs, but about only like a 24 set, and those are okay, but I don't think they blend the best. So I have done a little bit of mixed media where I'll mix, watercolor and then pencils over top, or some, different markers and things. But typically, if I'm going to do like a picture in pencil, I'll probably just do the whole picture in pencil. And since Prismacolors are my go-to, I'll probably just do the whole picture in Prismacolors. Some white. Soften all of this up. Alright, that purple looks pretty good. I think I might do like dark pink, light pink, purple, dark pink, light pink, purple, dark pink, light pink, purple. Yeah, that work. Does that work for everybody? You're not here, so you can't say no. I like some pattern, but I don't just want every other color. So this should work okay, I think. Or I could even do kind of a checkered pattern. How would that work? So dark pink, light pink, light pink. And then I could do a purple. That may be too busy. I'm just going to stick with what I said. Then it makes you kind of start to wonder, like people that design like umbrellas and things, what's their plan? Because I'm just going with however I want to do it. Is there some secret to picking the pattern and the colors of umbrellas? There probably are things about what people will actually buy. Alright, so that was the darker pink. Another thing I'd be interested to know from you all is, like, how long of a video do you like to watch? So I see some people, they'll do streams for 2 hours, 3 hours, but I'll also see people will kind of chop up their videos into 30 minutes, 40 minutes, at a time. So do you like just watching the full thing all the way through, where you can, you can pause, you can come back to it if you want, or do you like it in different sections that are made, a little bit time apart, but you can kind of follow along with the progression? I guess it partially depends too, like how much time do I have, the full amount of time to just sit down and color a whole page. This isn't a very big page, so I probably could get the whole thing done, before too long. But do people want to sit there and watch the whole thing? Watching some of your videos, I don't mind the longer ones. I may not have time to do it all in one sitting, or sometimes I'm impatient and I just want to fast forward and get to the completed project. But I can see kind of a benefit to both. But yeah, feel free to comment. Do you like longer videos? Do you like them split up into shorter sections? If you have a channel, what's your strategy for that? My dog just left. I must have been boring him. I like how this is turning out, though. I don't think any of the patterns are too, like, crazy and obnoxious. They all look pretty good, even though we're using some bright colors. I am liking it. That is something I like about just choosing a specific color scheme, is that everything's very cohesive. It doesn't look like just a crazy circus went through your page. There's other times when I don't want to plan out what I'm doing, I just want to color, so I do end up with a little bit of craziness. almost done with this section here. Yeah, I do like how those colors look together. Glad I brought in a little touches of purple. Okay, so now the question, do I want to go purple here or do I want to go back to this pattern? So I go dark, light, purple, dark, light. And it would repeat. Maybe I'll do that. So we're going to do the same pattern down here. So back to the dark. Back to pink. Oops, now I'm dropping things. Sorry about that. Okay, dark, light. Yeah, my strategy through here is just kind of outline the shape, fill it in a little bit. Have some white. I'm fine if there's some white showing through too. Kind of like how it looks like that. Alright, so we get to do another purple line. Fill it in a little bit. Go back with our white. And once we get this umbrella done, we'll just kind of check in and see where we're at. See if we want to tackle anything else on this video or pause. My husband will be home from work before too long too, so kind of got to see what time. Alright, one more line here. You have to be less precise in these little squares because you can't even see it that well. I have a few spots where I went out of the line just a little bit. But that 5 bugged me more than anybody else. Okay, how are we looking so far? I'm going to adjust the camera here. Got our umbrellas done. We're at 48 minutes. I think we can go a little bit more. I guess the question, what do we want to do next? Do we want to try some of the water, or save that to the end, see if we want to add any type of background with that? Tackle some of the flowers. So we already said a little bit. I do want to do the leaves, kind of a lighter teal with the green. We've got some tulips up here, so that lends well to some of our purples and pinks. And then we have these little flowers over here. Those might look good in the yellow color. Just some little, I don't even know what those are. I'll kind of save that till last. So yeah, let's do some of the flowers. And then maybe we'll stop there and then we can do some of the cat, the details, the rain, and the background in a next video. So yes, let's do the flowers. Do you like the purple and the pink? Maybe 2 purple and 1 pink flower. So I do like the purple and I didn't use it quite as much down here. So yeah, let's do 2 purple and 1 pink flower. Dropping things. I swear my desk must be slanted. I feel like it's creaking. My chair is creaking. Technical difficulties. First world problems. Okay. We're going to go to this flower first. And honestly, I might use a little bit of pink with my purple. So let's start down here with a little bit darker purple. Yeah, I just love this lavender color. The Prismacolors have a couple light purples, like, what is it, like lilac, and then a little bit darker Parma violet. But they don't have too many light purples, so yeah, I went out and got this one on my own. I'm glad that I did. I wouldn't mind going back just to see if I can expand my collection a bit more. It's just crazy. It seems like they have to lock up all the art supplies, and it's like just such a hassle to have to get people to come unlock it because they have so many issues with people, you know, stealing things from them. Kind of a sad world we live in, but I mean, as we all know, art supplies can be very expensive. But even like, I don't know, like gel pens, you know, might be like $10 or $12 for a little pack, still locked up. I guess if you stole enough of them, you could make a profit, but geez, just want my gel pens. Or another issue I've run into is you go to the store and they just don't have any, and you ask someone and they're just like, oh, well, you know, people just tend to take them a lot, so I guess that if, you know, if locking them up means that they're more available, then I guess lock them up. So yeah, I'm going to add in some of the blush pink towards the top here just to get a little bit of color gradient blending. You know, flowers in nature aren't necessarily just one color. We had a lot of the rhododendron bushes blooming around here the last couple weeks. So I actually sent my mom just some flowers that I had picked off some of the bushes around for Mother's Day. You know, not like a fancy bouquet, just I picked some flowers, sent them in a box with her gift because she does not live in the same state as me. And when she received them, they were actually having a snowstorm. So she was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that you have flowers blooming. It's snowing here. So, and I think she enjoyed that. Although a lot of the blooms have kind of gone away now that it's getting closer to summer. They just kind of turn to greenery after they're done blooming. Alright, looks pretty good. I really want to do, I'm just dropping everything. Sorry guys, 1 second. I need to put some kind of shield at the end here so I can't just throw my pencils off the end. Anyway, so I did some purple. Actually, no, that's a stem. I want to do some yellow details in those little spots there. Again, could go in later and make it a little bit more pronounced detail with some gel pens, which I probably will do. I have just, let's see, I have some metallic jelly rolls, but also just the like classic set. I'd love to get the moonlights. I'd love to get the stardust. I really like the sakuras. Okay, so we added in some yellow detail. So we're going to do this one mostly pink. It has some kind of stripes down here. Let's come back to that. We're going to start here with the darker. So I like to, you know, do darker, shade out a little bit to lighter. I can come in with my other pink. Just kind of overlapping. Does anyone have any fun plans over the weekend? I think my husband and I are going to go on a nice hike on Saturday. And it's actually a hike that we've done before. Although last time we started at the wrong trailhead. So we realized that eventually we would have gotten to the, nice scenic lookout area we were trying to get to, but since we went up the backside, it would have taken us forever to get there. So we actually had turned around at one point, just kind of gave up. We said, oh, that's okay. We've walked for however far. We'll just go back down and try to figure it out. So now we've looked up where you're supposed to start. It takes you to a nice ledge overlooking a lake. So apparently you are actually supposed to start at the lake, that you're trying to get to, and then you hike up. So you already are kind of at the right location, and then you go up kind of into the trees, into the forest, and you come back out at the top with the lookout over the lake. So now that we know that, hopefully it'll go a little bit better. Let's just do this, the lighter pink down at the bottom. So I think it is kind of a popular hiking spot, so we'll have to get there early just to beat some of the crowds. Maybe we'll stripe in some of the darker too. I don't really know what these are supposed to be, these stripes, but whatever. I'm just going to make some light pink and dark pink stripes. Because why not? These are my flowers. Okay. And then we'll do another purple one here. Maybe I'll go purple to a little bit darker pink. Is anyone else into hiking? Yeah, living in Washington, there's a lot of hiking around. You can go up into the mountains. You can do some of the trails along the beach and the coast. We have some nice national parks, Mount Rainier, Olympic National Park. And those are both further away, but definitely an option. They do have days where, you don't have to pay the admission fee to get into the park. So that can be nice. And I have a pass, so I can go to the state parks all year as long as I paid my yearly fee and I don't have to pay the park fee every time. So we go to state parks quite a bit. National parks, not so much, but would be fun. Not allowed to bring dogs, though. That's one downside. And my doggy goes with us pretty much everywhere. Oh, my battery's running low. Hang on. Gotta plug in. At least it told me before I lost my whole video, right? Okay, sorry, guys. I have to turn the camera for a second. Alright. There we go. So yeah, like I said, I take my dog on all my hikes. So if I can't bring him into the national parks, might not be as likely to go. Alright, so you guys can tell this one's a little bit darker. I use some of the darker pink to some of the lighter pink. With Prismacolors, you can just kind of go back in, go over your layers again. Let's make this a nice light pink at the top. Okay, and I realized too, this is probably part of that purple flower. So I should probably go back in and do this part of the detail. I wonder how it would look if I did kind of dark purple and then I had kind of, maybe we'll do dark again and then have some pink at the top. We'll just kind of fade out again. And some white. Yeah, I think that looks okay. And then I wanted to do these little ones over here in the yellow colors. So let's do, I keep getting confused because this one is actually the darker yellow. This one is actually the lighter orange yellow. But since this pencil itself is darker, I keep thinking that's the darker color. Okay, so lighter pencil, darker yellow. Do a little bit of detail. Do you guys usually plan out your pages, or do you just kind of wing it as you go? Because honestly, usually I'm more of a planner, which maybe that's why I'm a little bit indecisive today. I like to have everything planned out. Whenever we go on activities, or, you know, if I go out somewhere with my husband, I want to plan. I want to know where we're going. Same with my coloring. I want to have at least a general plan. I do change it sometimes as I go along, but I do like to have a plan. That looks pretty good. Maybe some pink in the center of these. All right, cool. Let's do some leaves. We already planned I want to do my lighter teal, light aqua, my pale sage for the leaves. So we have a leaf here with some stems, leaves up here, leaves down here. So just kind of go in a little bit with this color. Nice and light. Okay, I'll bring in the sage. Really gives it a hint of green. Yeah, so it's kind of a nice lighter green with just some hints of teal. Don't look too bad. Something though about the Prismacolors is when you go over like black lines, they can get kind of waxy. So you have to be a little bit careful. And two, it can kind of rub off on your page if you have residue. Sorry, my eye's just trying to figure out. So I guess these are some leaves over here. Sometimes when there's too many lines, it's kind of hard to tell what you're looking at. And two, things can look so different in real life versus on a webcam versus on an Instagram post. I mean, I think it always looks a lot better in real life, let's be honest. But you guys can't be here in my house with me, so this is what we have to do. Trying to make these a little bit lighter because they don't have the lines. Still using some of this for some detail and shading, especially kind of underneath here on the underside. So then too, I will have brought in this green, but since I'm mixing it with teal, it's not really necessarily kind of its own color. It's just some interest to the leaves. We haven't used it anywhere else, so it's just a leaf color. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, so we do have these leaves and the ones around here that are different than the ones we just did. Now, do we want to go lighter with those or darker. Something we could do, which we haven't done yet. What about mixing some green with some yellow? Maybe starting with green and then adding a little bit of yellow on the tips. I think that would look good. We are gonna do it. Oh man. Don't you hate when that happens? Wasn't paying attention when I was sharpening. And that's something that happens with Prismacolors. They're just so soft. And luckily you can get these open stock. You can replace, you know, ones you've had. But my shortest ones, they are short not because I've used them so much. They are short because they have broken over and over again. And like I said, I'm doing better with this sharpener, but I don't know if anyone has any other tips. Like, for example, I love this peacock blue. It is so short because it just keeps on breaking. Not so much recently, but when I first got it, same with, what color is this? Tuscan Red. See, I don't even have a tip on it because it just breaks. So I probably use those colors less for that exact reason. Okay. Not sharp enough. I don't want to, and then I'm scared too. I don't want to sharpen it all the way because it's just going to break again. Okay, but anyway, so we're going to kind of go over some of the lines. We're going to start green at the bottom. We're going to lightly go up. Now, which, I think I want this more orangey one. So we're just going to kind of come down now. Lightly come down. So we go up with green. And we come down with yellow. Yeah, that looks okay. Again, we got a little bit of the wax, but I don't know, it just gives the leaf a little bit more interest. I hate just green. Green, 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 green leaves, green plants, green everything. We need more color in our lives. Leaves are just not solid green. Especially too, doing some fall scenes. It's always fun to play with different leaf colors. Right. Cool. Greenish yellow leaves. Alright, so we got these little ones here. Let's do, because I have these dots too, and I think I want to do those. The darkest green. So let's do the lighter aqua for those leaves next to the yellow flowers. They'll stand out a lot next to the yellow. So light aqua. And these are really small, so I don't mind just doing one color. Alright. And then back here. Now do we want to do some dots one color, some dots another color? Maybe we'll do both of the greens. Green, teal, aqua, whatever, same thing. Not really sure what this is exactly supposed to be, but I don't think it will look bad in these colors. Yeah, I can't really tell the difference too much between these two colors, but that's okay. All right, and then we have our stems. I wouldn't mind kind of keeping with the same color as the leaves, so just a little bit of this. Then we'll go over it a little bit with the sage green. And then this one's kind of only up here. So this is just lines that go up to those leaves. Right? This isn't like a whole leaf. I don't think so. I don't know, but then it does kind of cut off this line. I don't know, guys. Is that a whole leaf? I guess I'll leave it for now, but maybe I'll see what some other people did in their pictures. See if I can remedy that. Obviously, it'd be an easy addition. I just don't know. When I look at it, I think that is a whole leaf. You can see the little clothesline thingy goes behind it. Okay, we'll just do it. Let's do it, and then we'll end there. And again, it's my picture. I can make it however I want it to be. If I want that to be a leaf, then darn it, it is a leaf. See if I can sharpen this a little bit. Please don't break. Alright. Yeah, I think that was the right decision. It looks better. You don't have all these kind of random lines that your eye doesn't know what to do with. Alright. What are we at? Hour and 15 minutes. That's probably a good stopping point. So we've done a good majority of the picture. We've done the umbrellas. We've done the flowers. I will do another video for the water and just for some of the details and maybe just kind of a simple background. Oh, and the cat, of course. Can't forget the cat. So stay tuned. There will be a part 2 for this video. Thank you so much for watching and coloring with me, and I will see you next time on Adventures in Coloring. Thank you.